Hello, people of the internet. How is it doing? Hello, people of the internet. How's it doing today? So today I'm talking about rural Ireland. So basically everything apart from Dublin, Cork, the big cities, Limerick, Galway. So I'm talking about outside. Cork County is a big county. Everybody knows that. So yeah, where should I start? So basically, if I might as well just say it straight. If you're looking for any jobs, any good jobs, any big high paid jobs, the best place to go to is the cities, obviously, because there's no walk in the countries, obviously. And that's so true that there's no walk in the country, that there's only walk in the cities, which is true. There is some walk in the country. I'm not saying there's no walk in the countrysides in the rural Ireland, as we call it, but it is hard to get walk. It's easier to get walk in Dublin because obviously big businesses are in Dublin, big companies, big investors, everything's in Dublin and everything's in the cities, and there's nothing in the countries. And so I can't tell you how many people from Cavan, from where I am, Cavan, have moved to Dublin, have moved to Galway, have moved to Limerick to look for employment because there's no employment in Cavan, in the towns of Cavan and in Monaghan and everywhere. They have to go to Dublin, they have to go to big cities to look for employment. And it's really killing the local economy too because you're losing so many people. And, businesses do get affected. Local businesses that are struggling to survive are getting affected because they don't have the staff, because there's nobody to take on, because the business down in Cavan don't have enough resources than the big businesses in Dublin. Let's just say that. Like there's a box company in Cavan Box Company. Yes, it's a very simple name. That runs boxes, and they don't get apart from businesses in Cavan, they don't get business anywhere else. They only get business in Cavan. They don't get it anywhere. They don't go to Leitrim or anywhere. Some go to cities for social life as well. Yeah, some do go for social life, but mostly for work, to be honest. That's most because there's no work in any part of the country. And the good lot of businesses, like local businesses that depend on the internet, can't depend on them because the internet's so bad in the countrysides, in different parts of the country, that there is so much neglected on the internet and everything. So businesses that are dependent on internet in the country have to go to Dublin because the internet speeds in Dublin. Obviously, the build-up areas will be faster, more better, more capable of coping with the amount of people using it. And it goes down to then it's transport too, because in the countryside, it's apart from the cities, you have trams, you have trains. In Dublin, you have trains, trams, buses. You have places, you have basically all your transport in Dublin. And when you go down to Cavan, you either have a car or you walk or you cycle. And that really affects the local economy too. Because people have to spend money on transport and they don't have enough money in their pocket because you have to get a taxi. If you don't have a car, if you can't afford a car, you have to get a taxi. Some buses do one to some places, and things like that. So the countryside's really down. That's why there's loads of people leaving from Cavan to go to Australia, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, all them countries to go and get work, get employment, and good lot of them will go to America, Canada to get work because there's no work in the countrysides apart from Dublin, apart from Cork. I was talking to a woman from Lockwood last week, and she lives in Granard, not too far away from the Cavan border, I suppose you could say. And she's been looking for work she doesn't have a car and she has to stay around Granard all the time. She has to stay in Granard all the time because she wouldn't be on much money. She's on social welfare. She obviously has a young child, and she can't afford to look for a job anywhere else apart from Granard. So she can't go into Lockwood town. She can't go to Cavan. She can't go anywhere, and she can only stay around Granard. And she's been looking around Granard for the last 2 years for a job, to get some kind of job. And as she said, Granard's really dead. And Granard and County Lockwood is really dead. It's like the west of Ireland. It's just Cavan's a lot more upgraded than Granard and Lockwood because Granard has no jobs at all, no employment, no infrastructure. Obviously, you go to Edgeworthstown outside Granada, there's trains going to Dublin, and every train's going different places in Edgeworthstown. But there's no, like, Granada's basically abandoned from transport because there used to be bus services going through Granada, but they go a different route as far as I understand. So the economy is basically in Logford is really being neglected by the government. Obviously, um, it's not just the bad. Logford's kind of the most affected place in the whole country. Logford and Westmeath, they're the two counties that are affected the most. Cavan's affected a bit, but not as bad as Logford and Westmeath. Not as bad. But we have to really do something. We have to really stand up to the government and say, there's some places apart from Dublin, apart from Cork City, apart from Galway, apart from Waterford, Wexford, them big towns. There's places outside Ireland too. Because if you add up how many people live in Cavan, 82,000 people, 83,000 I think now, that's a lot of people. I know it's not as big as Dublin, but it's still a lot. It's still a lot of people. Then you go to Meath. Obviously, Meath's a lot more modern, I suppose you could say. It has a bit more transport. Navan has transport in and out. Obviously, some parts of Meath, some back places in Meath, some back roads in Meath, and back end places away from town, like Cows and Navan, forgotten about because of bad government policy. It is just like there's so many people just leaving to go and get work. So I can't tell you how many people I know that left Ireland to go to New Zealand, to go to Australia, to go to Saudi Arabia, mostly Saudi Arabia. Most of good lot of people in my family, good lot of people in my people I knew. The majority of them left to go to Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia needs nurses, I suppose you could say, and the pay over there is better than over here for nurses, and that's why the majority of the people in my family went to Saudi Arabia. The majority of the two countries mainly people go to, I know, is Australia or Saudi Arabia. They're the two countries. Because they can't get jobs and the pay is not good at all. And then there's the crime rate in the local in counties, in Cavan and Monaghan and different places. Obviously, they'll have more. Obviously, the guard numbers are lower. There's not enough guards in divisions. Even though Cavan has got a good lot of new guards in, which is a good thing. I can't say it's a bad thing because it's a good thing. But we talk about Tullamore and County Offaly. They have been neglected, and the guards, like, there's loads of crime around Tullamore, loads of things being chased, thefts and everything like that. And you go to the places in Dublin, there's an absolutely unlimited amount of guards around. And that alone, puts people afraid to open businesses. And finally, they got some sunlight. But finally, I'm getting some sunlight. But that's leading to businesses that wanting to invest in Dublin and other places. Because obviously, if you obviously if you're a big business or from America or someplace, if you're going down to, let's say, Tullamore, and you want to invest in some place, obviously you wouldn't invest if you think the place is going to get robbed every 10 seconds of the day or going to get graffitied or whatever you want to call it. Obviously, we'll go to the place that has low crime rates and obviously have loads of policing. Like in Tullamore, they don't have enough cops. That's what I read a few days ago. They don't have enough cops to give an out about the lack of cops in Tullamore. And now I don't know if that's true. Maybe there's more than there's in Cavan, but I suppose for the population, I don't know what the population of Tullamore is. And where's my? I need to check that. What is the population of Tullamore? Because there's loads of people saying about the lack of cops in Tullamore. Well, I know. In County Offaly, mind you. 14,000. Yeah, it's a lot less than Cavan. Cavan is 14. Cavan is 11,000. Yeah, and actually, it's a few more than Cavan. So yeah, you can see what they're saying. It'd be a better population than Cavan Town. Or how much does Lockwood have? I'm going to be looking. I say Lockwood has a good lot because Lockwood is a big open town. Lockwood Town. Down. Look for the population of. This is what they see the population. 14,000. 14,000. My good Jesus Christ. That's a lot of people. Like you think about Lockwood. Lockwood Town has a big shopping mall. It's basically kind of a little city, if you want to call it that. But there's no jobs. Like as I said about the person from Granada I was talking about, it is being neglected, and that's where the thing. Lockwood's really being neglected, and lifting up the wrong cup. My tea's in this cup, which is sad. But we have to annoy the government as much as we can about. Like there is more places. We have to keep saying this to the government. There is more places outside Ireland apart from Dublin. Obviously, Dublin is important because it is the capital city. It is where most tourists go. It is where big businesses are, Google and everything like that. And we need to invest in Dublin, obviously, but we need to give an equal amount to every county in Ireland too, instead of focusing everything in Dublin. Because as I said, there's don't even get me started on back roads and roads not being fixed and not being upgraded and everything like that. It's a huge thing around every part of the country except Dublin. Because Dublin, obviously, the city council are always doing something with the roads, upgrading the roads, doing different things with the roads. And excuse me, but we do need to tell the government, we need to keep repeating to them that there is places outside Ireland that are being forgotten about and they're being left behind because of the amount of money that's going into cities. And it's really sad that local business, really local businesses, local people who run businesses who only make an odd bob a week, who barely able to pay the bills, are struggling more than the big. Well, would be obviously struggling more than the big industries. It's sad that the government won't give them support. Like the shops, I know they were 100 years open, 100, maybe 200, 300, maybe it was one, I think it was 200 something years open. And, they couldn't afford to stay open. And had to close down. And then then guess what took its place? I think this was in Dublin, in part of West Dublin. And guess what took its place? The Starbucks, whatever you call them, coffee shops, took their place. And that's what happened to it. It was kicked out, and then there was another big business went in there, and it was forgotten about. And that's really sad. And the government, the local councils couldn't give them the money to keep the shop open because of its heritage and of its history. But apparently no, because they're more worried about big industries to give more tax than anything else. Anyway, I'm going to cut the live stream here because that's basically all what I don't think there's anything else. Maybe there's. No, there's nothing really else. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe for more and bye.